Okay, so today is an interesting training experience. We're going to look at improvised weapons. And what people may overlook when they train is they always train with ideal weapons. They work with sticks that they chose, that they're probably their favorite sticks, or they're at least comparable to what the opponent or partner is using. And you train on an even surface, and everything's calm, and everybody's friendly. So those are all factors that we just get used to, and those are not present when you're actually fighting. Okay, when someone attacks you, you didn't have a weapon. They might have planned ahead and thought, about what they were going to do. But you may not have sticks on hand, you likely won't. And so let's talk about the kind of things you can use in place of having ideal weapons. And sometimes it does entail some planning. Like I like to keep a nice 5D cell mag light around. You can even get them longer than this, but this is good enough that it's wieldy. You can kind of stow it away in your car. I'll take it out at night when I go walk with my dogs. And when I'm shining it on something to see, I can put it here on my shoulder, and I don't have batteries in it right now. And you can halfway press it or press it all the way, and you can scan the area. But notice when I'm doing this, I'm also loaded for an angle 1. All right? And if you have to shine in someone's eyes and it's nighttime, then they're gonna just go blind for a minute, for a few seconds at least. And then the spot where they were looking at this is going to remain in their, imprinted on their retina for probably a minute or so. Okay, so you can be like this, but you can use this to deflect and hit. And the important thing we're talking about in the beginning is deflection, the ability to deflect something to not get hit in the head, but also to work your way to a better weapon. In some cases you might have something that's flimsy. All you can get a hold of is something, this is gonna break, it bends, and it's, he's hitting hard or something like that. And I might be able to just get it up in there and go ahead and hit it. And you see, and it's already breaking through. You see, it's already busting through. And I might only be able to deflect 2 hits before it breaks through completely. So I'm using this while I can get my hands on something else. All right, so you don't always get something that's even very durable. In other cases, you do. This is a baseball bat. I saved up my allowance when I was 8 years old and bought this in West Virginia. It's a Little League bat, and so for some reason, it's always followed me around. It always stayed with me. And it's ideal. It's better than a big, full, adult-sized bat, because those are kind of unwieldy. Those are really only good for standing here with two hands and hitting the ball. But this one, I can actually use one-handed, all right? And I can also use augmented shots. I can choke up on it a little bit, and that gives it a bit more ease of use. But this is dense and hard. He throws a good hard hit, and I deflect it like it's nothing. But now, you see, whatever he's deflecting with, it better be solid, because this is going to hit right through it. This has some weight to it. And then you also have other things. This is actually a police billy club that was given to me by a good friend of mine who works at the New York State, Empire State Plaza. And he said there were 2 of them he gave me. They were just left behind there during an event. And he just said, I thought you might find some use in these. I'm like, yeah, these are really well made. It's a very good quality billy club, very dense. It just hurts to even touch yourself with it. But this is the kind of thing you might keep by your front door. You want something you could grab. And then again, a sawed off piece of 2x4. It was sawed off this way as well as this way. It's not very big, not very substantial, but it's enough. It's enough to put in the way of something. If he's attacking, I can just, he's aiming for my head. I can deflect with this and keep moving. I may not be able to get close enough to him to hit him while I'm at range for his longer weapon, but I can sure use it to get closer. And then it no longer is a stick fight. So that's another thing to think about. Is if you have something that's not durable, but he attacks, and you're initially like, whoa, cool, just put this up. Maybe the first one got through. I'm like, ding, I'm hearing that ringing in my head, like I got something in my hand, I'm doing this, and I just got to get close to him and clinch with him and maybe take him down. Maybe I'm the better grappler at that point, or whatever, and I can throw knees or I can take him down, but he no longer can use that range weapon effectively, and I use this to get close. Or I use this to get away. Another thing to think about, we'll use this worn out old tie pad as sort of symbolic of just an object, like a gym bag, like it'd be a book, a big book hopefully, any of a number of things that you could just put in the way of that weapon while you're trying to get away or get to something you can use offensively, or like I said, trying to get closer to him so you can take away the distance he needs to use that stick effectively. All right, so these are the things. You got to control range. You got to decide whether in that moment, whether it's better to go toward him or towards something else, or whether you think you can get away. If he's still standing and running and still got a good weapon, if you're a faster runner, that's one thing, but otherwise just breaking and running, he catches up to you. Remember, he's going to hit you behind the head. You know, so you may have to stand and face him or get to him first and then take away that weapon. And last of all, this is just, again, just a random thing. It's a hard oak paddle, but it's got density. You can hit with it this way, which is really, you can also deflect with it this way on the broadside. But I like the sort of the cutting. There are actually Filipino weapons and Indonesian weapons that are stick weapons that are broad and thin, like that. And you actually, like almost like an oar that you can hit with. And you have a unique kind of leverage and it hits with a different kind of ouch to it, you know? Because it's all that mass and all that force focused on a smaller area when you hit somebody, and probably less apt to break, which definitely has a good feel to it. So I took this and said, wow, this is something. Even I noticed even the letters here that when your finger rubs across them, it almost cuts you. And if you hit somebody with that, crack, it's gonna cut them. It's jagged. All right, so that's a little, just a little rundown of improvised weapon ideas. What we want to do now is we're gonna pick something that you brought, and then we're gonna put things aside. Like it might be this way. This weapon's over here, and I'm walking along. I had my briefcase, my laptop bag. That's gonna be an expensive defense, by the way, if you open a laptop bag, and he takes a good swing at you, and you're like, ugh, and then you hear that, you know, you're like, oh, there goes my laptop. But you know, the laptop can be replaced, and your head cannot. So I'm using this, has them deflecting, boom, boom. And I sort of scan the area, or I might even then throw it at his direction and get to something that I can now deflect and work my way toward him. If I can get close enough, I might be able to use it to hit him, but otherwise I got to clinch with him. Or use this. This might be breaking up as he's hitting. Get to something else. I'll grab it. In this room, there's many opportunities. I grab plates and boxes and dumbbells and all that, but in a more sparse environment, you might have to run and grab something, depending on his motivation, you know, whether he's motivated to pursue you or not. Okay, so now we're going to break out our improvised weapons and we're going to play a little bit. Okay, so we ran into one problem right off the bat. I'm going to point these things out as I see them. She has to focus on Chris attacking, all right? And so Abby was not able to see where she was grabbing for this bat, and so she missed it. You know, and then you just gotta so what might she have done differently over there? One thing would be if she's fleeing him to get, and I know she doesn't want him to accidentally hit the heavy bag but with a stick, but to move around the bag and use that as temporary cover, you know, to pick it up, that might help. Use natural barriers. You know, if he's right-handed, I would want to be on this side of a bag. We explored this when we used to train at the park too, where you get on a certain, relative to a tree, if there's a tree here, he's right-handed. If I just stand here with the tree to my left, it naturally blocks his angle one, which is his main thing. He's got to find a different way to get to me. So just something to think about as far as the environment around you and how things are configured.